Let's clap together. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Look, not many people nail it, and all right, that just means that this is going to be a great episode, okay?
We're on it.
All right, welcome back to Lady on the Street podcast. We have another episode underway, and let me tell you, it's giving me all of the girly vibes. So I'm going to just go ahead and jump right into it. I'm your host, Priscilla. In case you're barely catching up for the first time, like, what the hell are you doing? Why is it the first time?
What's the problem?
Yeah. So today's guest is a lady who has put a spin on what it means to visit the hair salon. She may not be the first, but she's definitely making a splash with her business here in San Antonio at Hello Darling Blow Dry Bar. Every photo I've seen from inside her place is the cutest, chicest, most girliest wonderland that I've ever laid my eyes on, and I can just tell that from the moment you walk inside, you just feel good. Whether you're getting styled for a night out or a big life event, if it's anything like her socials, you'll definitely leave feeling beautiful and like a time was had, my dear. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Melissa Turner to Lady on the Street.
Aw, thank you, Priscilla. That's so sweet. I was like, oh my God, what a great introduction. Thank you so much.
I'm so excited to A, just get to know you, and to learn about your business. But like, I have to just say, kudos to like the fashion here
Aw.
because you have the cutest like fashion.
And you matched.
Okay,
I was like, oh my God, look at her.
I
She's
had
adorable.
a feeling. I was like, okay, so when I look at your socials, I'm like, this is giving me, do you have like a Dolly Parton?
We do a Dolly Parton on the wall with big hair. Some
Yeah.
people think, is that you? And I'm like, no, that's Dolly. Get it right.
I love it so much. So yes, we will talk all about the fashion, but first things on the list here. I always start every episode off asking people about like, what do you want to drink, right? Some people like alcohol, some people are sober, and so we accommodate here. But when I asked you, I was like, okay, what do you want to have to drink? You were like, it was like, I was like, we have a complicated order. So tell me, what are we drinking?
It's complicated. So cheers to you because you did a great job. So my drink of choice is tequila, obviously. But we did a little spin of the Paloma. So it is a cucumber jalapeno Paloma with tahini.
I love it. And you know what, though? I actually have to be honest here. I did mess up. I'm missing your jalapeno.
That's okay. We bring the spice, so it's fine.
Oh, that's right. I love it. Well, cheers.
Cheers, babe. It was delicious. It is delicious. So yummy. But yeah, a little complicated. Nothing in my life is easy, unfortunately. But you know, that's life.
You make it work, right?
Yeah, you make it work.
Fashionably.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to just get started by introducing you a little bit with your background, right? Tell me a little bit about like where you're from. Are you from San Antonio?
No, I'm actually from Los Angeles. So born Mexicana, grew up in Los Angeles. My parents moved me to El Paso when I was a teenager, so that was terrible. And I had to get out of there as soon as possible. Love El Paso, love the tamales, love the mountains and the sunsets, but when you come from California to El Paso, it's a big change. So moved to San Antonio. My sister was here, and I was like, you know what? I like it. It's nice here. And so I've been here ever since.
I love that. Do you remember when you moved here, like what year that was?
It was, I was 20. So I was 20 years old, couldn't buy a drink yet. I already had 2 kids in tow. Yeah, and just loved San Antonio. It was very welcoming.
What is your favorite thing about San Antonio?
Of course, the culture. You know, I love the culture of San Antonio. I love the fiesta. I love that everybody's so friendly. My kids were very surprised how friendly everybody was. And from the beginning, they're like, oh my God, Mom, there's trees. Because, you know, El Paso, all we have is desert. So they were so happy about that. So it was great.
I love that. It really is the little things. And I feel like it's not often that you hear somebody from California say like, oh, you know, I actually like San Antonio. Everybody, it's like a competition all the time, right? You know, but the cultures are definitely different when it comes to Hispanic culture between California and San Antonio.
It is.
Like Tex-Mex is a real thing, you know?
It is. And I'm like, there's no competition. You know, it's good. So, and you're coming here anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you came with your 2 kids. Did you, I guess, where did the idea for Hello Darling come?
Yeah, so I've been a little bit about my background. I've been in finance, banking all my life. So that's what I've been doing for 23 years. Doing lending, but I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. My parents have always been very salesy. They've taught us from, young age just to really, want more. Immigrant family moved here from Mexico. And so I've always wanted to do more things. And in the banking world, I helped clients put together their business plans, put together their finances. And so I've always done business plans on my own, and I've created several businesses. And I always wanted to do something fun. So this was my fun job.
Yeah.
And my husband's looked at my business plans and he's like, not this one, not this one, not this one. I have a sign on the wall that says forever dreaming because he tells me, like, you and your dreams. And I'm like, yes, forever dreaming. I have a tattoo on my ankle as well. And so he finally said, you know what? I like that. I like that. That's a good business plan. And I've been actually doing my hair for the past 5 years. I've been a blow dry bar member forever, because you really don't understand that you need a blowout until you get a blowout. I mean,
Right.
that massage, somebody else washing your hair, people always ask, like, really, you pay somebody to wash your hair? Yes, I do. And it's the best thing. But really, it's just being a mom. As you know, you have two small children. You have to decide, like, do I put my hair up, or do I and sleep, an extra 30 minutes, or do I do my hair and wake up early?
Mhm.
Well, you're always going to take sleep. You're tired, you're exhausted. So it's more of a convenience thing. I was very busy. I have 5 kids of my own, and so I had to find ways to multitask, and still look good, right?
Yeah.
Because we like to look good.
Yep.
And if you look good, you feel good.
Yes.
And so you can't feel good and take care of your kids, um, you know, if you're not done up or taken care of.
Yeah. I love that you mentioned that because on one of the most recent episodes I did, we were talking about that and how like some people might view that as being a woman being vain, but it really isn't. It's so much more like I am just more pleasant to be around if I'm in a good mood, right? And
Absolutely.
and you're right, like something about that massage when you're getting your hair done and it's like I want to fall asleep. But at the same time, you guys are like therapists, so I'm just like yap yap yapping away.
Yes, and we get the both. We get busy career moms that, are busy working and are really multitasking. And then we get, moms that just want some quiet time and just want to sit there or
Yeah.
want somebody to talk to. And so we love having all types of women in the door.
That's that's good. I love it. So tell me then, do you actually do or style hair?
So that's the crazy part. So I don't have, I don't know anything about owning a salon. It was a dream.
Yeah.
I know business, I know finances. In my career, I actually used to take branches that were failing, and I was a revenue master. So I would take them from, losing money to making money. So that I think is my strong suit. So I had the business side, which I think is good. I think a lot of self-employed or business owners struggle with that side.
Yeah.
And so I felt, okay, I got this because I know that. But I don't have the salon world, and I didn't know a lot of people in the salon business. So that's been kind of my downfall. And meeting people, learning about how things are run, how people do things, that's kind of been a little crazy.
What an interesting spin though, because like you mentioned, most people start a business and they have the skill and no business background,
Yep.
right? And so on the flip side of that, I would think, and I could be completely wrong, but I would think that it's easier to be able to outsource the skill part, you know? Um
Yeah, yeah, you'd think, but it is hard.
yeah.
Luckily for me, I am a consumer of the business. I
Yeah.
am a woman. I know what women want, and so that's helped me a little bit. And then, of course, when I was younger, I used to, do my friend's hair and do my hair, and so that helped a little bit. But yeah, the girls definitely know the skill, and I couldn't do it without them. They're amazing.
Yeah. No, I love that. Well, how long have you been open then?
So we've only been open a little bit over a year. We celebrated our 1 year anniversary in
That's
December.
right.
Yeah, so exciting. I can't believe we made it. I literally thought I was going to die
Yeah.
last year. I didn't. I'm still here. But it's been great. The community has really opened their arms. I'm very thankful, thanks to social media, thanks to relationships, people like you, a lot of great business partners, and just people in the industry that are cheering you on. I can't be so thankful for that.
I do love seeing, so speaking of your 1 year, I remember seeing you had like a nice celebratory party for that.
Yes.
I will say that one thing that I have noticed just in this space, since I've been doing the podcast, is that there are a lot of local creators, as large as San Antonio is, it's pretty much like a tight knit group. Like there's a lot of collaboration that I've witnessed, and it's so nice to see.
It is. It's really good to see. And of course, you meet other people, and that's how you meet one another, right? And so, again, not being in the salon world, not knowing people on this side, I know tons of real estate people and finance people. But on this side, it was really refreshing and just so awesome that they, welcomed you with open arms and they were willing to help one another. I think that's the best thing about the collaboration. And also, one of the biggest things that I wanted to do and make my space a little bit different, because again, I went to the other blow dry bars, right? And it
Yeah.
was just the transaction. And I knew from the beginning, I want to create a vibe.
Yeah.
I want to create collaboration. And my biggest thing is when, a mom comes in and meets, let's say, a real estate agent, but the mom's been thinking about, doing extra income or other things, and they introduce each other or they meet each other, and it's like, wow, thank you, you motivated me. Or the mom motivated that real estate agent,
Yeah.
right? And so it's just awesome to see that.
What an amazing space to give to the community, right? And it is a business, but like not a lot of people, especially in the pre-existing blow dry bars. I think because they're more corporate chain, you
Right.
don't get that, you know. And I'm saying that and not ever
Right.
having
Not
been to one
negatively
or
or
not
anything.
negatively, but um, I love the fact that I think that's what you get that differentiates a small business with a chain, you know.
And I think that's why the community has really accepted us, because we are a small business. It's my husband and I that own the business. I always say he's the darling, Mr. Darling. Um, I always say he's the darling. But
Mr. Darling, I love it.
yeah, so, we've been in Helotes almost 18 years. So the community knows us. We needed it in the community, and we love being there.
Oh, that's exciting. So walk me through then, because I know it's not just blow drying, but so if somebody were to be looking to come to your business, is it coloring? Is it just styling? Like, what can you expect if you've never been?
Yeah, great question. So a lot of people still really don't understand the blow dry concept. Again, why would you pay somebody to wash your hair? Well, let me tell you.
Uh huh. Yes.
So obviously we offer memberships to make it affordable for every woman. But no color, no cut. Really just wash, blow, and style. And
Yeah.
we have different styles just depending on your mood, right? Because we all know we have like five different moods, or different characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, so but on top of that, we have the boutique where you can come in and shop, or if you need to get your friend something for a little gift, we offer sugaring services, eyelash extensions. We have a doctor in house that offers Botox or wellness, B12 shots because we're so tired all the
Yeah.
time. But yeah, just a little bit of that. But our bread and butter is really the blowouts, making women feel confident with their hair, updos, and makeup as well.
I love it. And again, if you've never had a blowout, like you don't know what you're missing out on. I know a lot of people, like there are a lot of tools that you can try and do it yourself at home, but it's just not the same. And
It never comes out the
no, I'm
same.
like I've never been able to set a blowout the way, I'm like, what did I do,
Or like one side will be great and the other side's like, yeah, that's not the right one.
Exactly. I'm like, no, you're supposed to be like, sisters, not cousins.
Yes.
Like, well, that's exciting. I just cannot wait to pay a visit because I'm like, I need a membership, babe.
Yes.
You need
So
to
where
be
is
my
he?
Mr. Darling.
Yes. I love it.
Well, I guess I'm wondering, you have a young daughter, high school age. Well, you have five, right?
Yes,
Let's run through
5.
that. What are like genders and
Yeah,
ages?
it's a little crazy. So a lot of people don't know, but we do have 5 kids. We are a blended family. I have older kids. They are 27, 26, 25. Today's my son's birthday. And then we started over, we call, the B team, with our 16-year-old and 15-year-old. And so it's been great. We love having a big family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. It's the modern day Brady Bunch,
It
right?
is. It is. Yes.
So are they, so it's two boys, three girls? How many?
So, my oldest is my stepdaughter. She's been with me since she was 8. So my husband had, his daughter. I had my 2 boys, and then we came together and we had our family together.
So three
So,
girls, two boys.
yeah,
Okay.
3 boys, 2 girls.
Oh, you're like, no, ma'am. I
No,
just ran
sorry.
through it. Okay, so I guess getting a business started, and you mentioned like your family instilled a lot of business perspectives within you, right? Growing up, what is it like for your kids to see you grow something from scratch and be passionate about it? Like, how has that played out?
My daughter, who's my youngest, I really see it in her. They have a really great work ethic. They see how hard mom and dad work, right? And I think that's really important nowadays, just to see one, having the dream that you can do anything that you want, right? Even if it's crazy and you've never done it before. And two, just that if you really work hard, you can get it done. Don't get me wrong, it hasn't been easy. There's been lots of obstacles, as with any business, right? But we as a family have come together and just they're very excited about it. So
I love that. What's your favorite thing about your business, owning your business, I suppose?
I love the collaboration. I
Yeah.
love meeting new women. I love women coming in with their daughters. I love women coming in there with their moms or their besties. That's what I love. It's just really more than a blowout bar. It's just really a fun place to just be yourself,
Yeah.
It's hard to wake up in the morning. It's hard to be a mom. It's hard to be a dog mom. It's just hard to get up in the morning sometimes.
Yeah.
And so if we can just make it easy for just 45 minutes, just be relaxed, no judgment, and just, have a good time. That's what we want to make it
Yeah.
about. That's my favorite part.
It's like, for the longest time you'd get your girls together and go do your nails, right? And now it's like, no, you got to go get
Exactly.
blowouts.
Yes. Get blowouts, get a massage,
Yeah.
get a facial, just do something for yourself. And, it is hard because we do have the mom guilt. You have 2 little ones. You know
Yes.
how it is. It's
Mhm.
hard and you have to step away and focus on your career sometimes. So finding ways to multitask, spend time with your children, keep yourself happy, I think that's the biggest thing. I was a busy career mom. I was an executive for a bank for a long time, and I had to find ways to maximize my time.
Yeah.
And so that's when the blowout bar came in. It's like, okay, I can't do my hair. I need to go pay somebody to do it, or I need somebody to help me with the house, or, whatever it is. But just maximizing that time because time is valuable
Yeah.
and it's going so fast.
Yeah.
And your babies are going to grow up, before you know it, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh.
No, I already feel it. And you're right. Like the mom guilt of it all is crazy. No matter what I'm doing, if I'm not attending to them, it sinks in. And I'm like, you know, even like down to washing the dishes, I'm like, I could be like coloring with them. And they crave your attention when they're that little. Um, but I have to say, like, what a great concept. And I'm so happy that this is a place and a space that moms can come to here locally. Thank you for creating something like that because now that my other daughter is my oldest, now that she's a teen, like these are things where I'm finding different ways to connect with her. And
Exactly.
so I'm like, perfect opportunity?
It is. And you guys get to do something together. And let me tell you, when those teens come in and they even connect with our stylist, our darlings, we call them our darlings,
So
they're
cute.
amazing. These young ladies are just so talented and they really connect with who's in their chair. So the young girls, they, spend a little time to tell, our girls, and it's hair therapy, right?
Mhm.
About what's going on or anything that's on their mind. And so it's really good to see those young ladies trust and build those relationships with other women as well.
Yeah. I do want to know, so right now it's the one location. Have you considered expanding?
Absolutely. That is definitely on our business plan. We would love to expand to downtown San Antonio. I think downtown San Antonio
Mhm.
is amazing. We have so many tourists and just so many people visiting. And everybody, let's be honest, everybody loves the Texas Dolly rodeo vibe, right?
Yes.
And so why
Mhm.
not bring them to San Antonio, have them get a little piece of Hello Darling? So that's our ultimate goal is to open up in hopefully downtown someday.
I love it. And you perfect segue into that too because the aesthetics of it all. Like, and I mentioned this at the top, right? You are a vibe. Like,
Thank
and
you.
I was like, I need to bring the pink. And
And you
I'm
did.
like, she's
She
all
showed
about
up.
the Dolly vibe. And yeah, I'm just like, when I see these photos of the interior, is that all you? Like, or did you have somebody help you come?
I definitely had somebody help me. I had a Pinterest board gone wrong and it was like all over the place. And my sister's like, "You're not going to be able to put all that together." And I was like, so I hired a designer. She's a local. She's also a real estate agent, and she helped me and she helped me put my vision to life.
Yeah.
And so she did amazing. But I just wanted to create different rooms and different inspirations.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. And believe it or not, I never owned pink before I opened the place.
Really?
And now, I wear pink every day, and it really doesn't have to be pink. The vision behind the aesthetic is really, whenever you go on vacation, you
Mhm.
select your best outfits,
Yeah.
right? You want to
Mhm.
look the best. And so, again, when you look and dress the best, you feel the best. And so that's what it's about. And just creating that brand that people recognize and they know, okay, that's the Dolly girl or that's the darling, right?
Oh my god, that is so cute. Speaking of Dolly, are you like a loyal longtime fan of Dolly? What's with Dolly?
Yeah, so it is crazy. I'm not like a huge loyal longtime fan. What I love about Dolly is that she speaks her mind.
Mhm.
Love her or hate her. Dolly should have been a Mexican woman.
Right?
Love her or hate her, she will speak her mind, but she's always kind and she's very generous
Yeah.
and she has been true to herself,
Mhm.
since the beginning. And so she has haters, but she has, people that love her. And so no matter what, you really have to be true to yourself. And so that's just one thing. And of course, we're in Texas. So I was like, who represents Texas? Even though she's a Nashville girl,
Yeah.
who can represent Texas and, you know, have everybody just kind of speak their mind.
A darling Dolly for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
I do think like she's having a resurgence also. Like her
Yes.
popularity. I don't know what it is, and maybe it's Cowboy Carter has gotten like the cowboy
The
aesthetic back
aesthetic
into,
back.
you know what
Well,
I
it's
mean?
it's big, the disco cowgirl is big. We'll
Yes.
take it,
Mhm.
as long as it comes out. But yeah, she's been everywhere. Walmart, she's been a Dollar General. She's, doing the jeans now, the
Yeah.
Jolene's, and she's doing really well. And regardless of her age, she will once again prove to you over and over that you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I do love that you're touching on that because one of my questions was, do you have like somebody that you look up to that you would want to emulate? And I'm not going to speak for you, but it sounds like Dolly it has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I just admire strong women. My mother was a strong woman. She was a strong single woman. I know you talked a little bit about your mother, and I think, as women, we have that, and so anybody that we can recognize that, sorry about that. Anybody that we
It's
can
okay.
recognize that is doing it, that's being a good mentor, not just to, women of our age, but younger women as well, and older women,
Yeah.
I think of all generations. I think that's just really important and positive vibes.
What does your mom have? And I hope she's
She
still with us. I'm
is,
like,
and
because
you
not
will know.
assuming.
You will know when my mom's in Hello Darling. She's Mama Darling and she loves it. She greets everybody. She just has this smile on her face and she's just always been such a positive person and
Yeah.
she's so inspiring to me. And there's been days that I've been like, I can't do this anymore, Mom, I can't do it. And she's like, you can do it. You can do it. And so she's been my inspiration and my cheerleader from the beginning. And yeah, it's
You're
amazing.
I feel like The darling concept to me, Mama Darling, what was it, Mr. Darling?
Yes.
I just love it so much. It's
The
so cute.
darlings, we
Yeah.
do darling days out. I
Oh
know
my
the
gosh.
girls at work probably get tired of darling, but it's the thing, you
Is
know.
is it something that you like? Is it a word that you use often prior to?
No, not at all.
I love it.
Not at all. And I had no idea what I was going to name the blow dry bar.
Yeah.
I knew I loved Darling, I loved Dolly. I wanted to kind of do a spin on that. And my husband and I have other businesses, and they're Hello because of Helotes, because we're Helotians.
Stop it.
Yes, and so we
So
have other
cute.
businesses that start with hello. We do mortgages. We have a Hello Homes, Hello Texas Homes, and just other spin-off
So
businesses. And I
cute.
was like, "Hello, darling."
I love
So yeah, so
it.
we're obviously from Helotes. We call ourselves. We live in the Helo, and yeah,
Yeah.
that's where it came from.
That is so cute. You have to have like all of the merch. Do you have merch with this branding?
So we do not, but we've been asked about it,
Yeah.
and we're thinking about starting with like some trucker hats and some stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, would love to gift you one. Have you, hello, darling,
Yeah,
blow
I'm
dry
like, that'd be
bar.
so cute. I could see it, like the printed tee with, like you said, the disco cowgirl on it. So cute. The
Thank
stickers. I
you.
need a
Yes,
sticker
we
of
need
it
stickers,
on my, I hate saying this, but
laptop,
on my
or
laptop or on my Stanley. I feel so weird.
on
Ugh.
your minivan.
I know, right?
No, you're
I
not a
love
minivan.
it.
You're too cool. You're so cute. So
I'm like,
cute.
no, I do have a minivan. I'm just kidding. I should with all these
Minivans
kids.
rock.
I know.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something too when you walked in. So again, I was trying to like match the aesthetic, and I do remember a couple months ago, I was getting dressed up for something that was like this vibe, right? And I was like, I want a handkerchief because I wanted to tie it around my neck.
Yes.
But I have like red boots, so I wanted a red one. And my husband was like, "You cannot wear a red handkerchief. Like people are gonna think like this, you know."
Like, are you Crip or are you Blood? What are
Yeah,
you?
it's like I'm cowgirl. What do you mean? Yeah.
Like, I just want to match.
Yeah, and he was like, he did not understand. So I'm like, babe, you see, it's cute.
It's
Yours is
in.
not red though.
It's not. It's a little pink.
Super cute. Okay, so tell me then, with being in Helotes, I feel like it's got, I mean, they've got like their ag program at the high school there and all of that. So are your kids into like the aesthetic?
Girl, you know it. Yes, both of my kids are in ag. We
Yeah.
raise turkeys.
Oh
So
my God.
my life is so complicated. But yeah, we had 50 turkeys this year. Both of my kids,
50.
made it. I know. We won't talk about last year's turkeys, but this year's turkeys, they survived. And so yeah, so it's really big on ag. My son also does ag mechanics, which it's so amazing how much they teach the kids. They teach them
Yeah.
welding. They teach them how to create things. It's part of STEM. My daughter is also doing the mechanics. And so the school, gives them a welding license at an early age, and they really teach them how to take care of something,
Yeah.
right? So whether it's, like the bean plant that we had in kindergarten,
Oh, I know,
you
right?
remember that.
Yes.
And so, or, turkeys or, pigs or livestock, whatever it is, it's just a great program. So yeah, we really embrace it. We really embrace the country lifestyle. The rodeo life is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But that was new to me. It was from marrying my husband. He's white, I'm Mexicana, and so it was a combination of cultures, and it was really a beautiful thing.
Oh, I love that.
My
No,
phone. I
you're
need to
fine.
turn this off. I'm sorry. I
It's
should have done
okay.
that before.
Well, I was gonna say like coming your way soon for Thanksgiving. Hello, turkeys, right? I'm just
Hello,
kidding.
turkeys. Yeah, we say we have a Turner turkeys. So, but now the turkeys are beef jerky or turkey jerky. So if
Turkey
you want
jerky.
some, we got some.
I
Yeah.
love that. I guess so. A blended family. Let's get into that a little bit. What's your favorite thing about being in a blended family?
Oh, well, you said earlier you host Christmas. You love to host
Oh,
Christmas. So Christmas is a big deal for us. Just having, all the kids there, that just fills my heart. Family is really important to me. I have a brother and two sisters, my mom, my dad. And so it's very fortunate to have that. And we really want to instill not just the work ethic into our kids, but just the family, the connection, the neighborly love, just being kind to others, because at the end of the day, that's all we have, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
The business can fail, but we still have our families.
Yeah. No, that is so sweet. Yeah, Christmas is like everything to me. It's the one holiday where I'm like, so we won't host Easter because I'm like, I don't want all that confetti. But like Christmas and snowy messes from like the decor, I'll
I
take it
love
all
it.
day, every day.
And your
Yeah.
decor is on point, girl.
Thank you.
I'm like, wow, you need to come dress me because you did such a great job with this place.
No,
It looks so good.
thank you. I do. I say like in another life, that's something I would have pursued, but I
I
think
can
I'm good right
totally see
now.
that. But, you're going to do everything. You're going to be a designer, a newscaster, a podcast, you know, content creator, and a mom.
Yeah. What was it? Dream. What was
Forever dreaming, girl. You
Forever
can do
dreaming. So
it.
cute. I feel like you just got like, I'm like, I want to brand all these things for you. Like, you got to
Oh,
trademark
I love it. I
everything.
need all the help I can get. But really, it is a collaboration, right?
Yeah.
It's not one person. I always say marketing is not one person. It takes ideas, and it takes multiple ideas.
Yeah.
And it also takes a little bit of give and take, right? Just
Yeah.
like a marriage. So,
Oh, 1000%. A little bit. Yeah.
yeah.
Before we move on to like other topics, I guess, what is the most challenging thing that you have faced with either opening your business or just when you're in the trenches?
The most challenging thing is just a really, just going, keep going. It's been hard. Hiring people is hard, finding good people, finding reliable people. That's been a challenge for me. I've managed banks all my life, and I've managed professional individuals, but the salon and the beauty world is a little bit different. And I love it because everybody is so creative and everybody is kind of, their own self-employed. So that's been a little bit of a challenge, is finding the people, reliable people, and people that you can trust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've got like a core group right
I
now?
do. I'm so lucky, and I literally thank God every day. I have a really good group of young ladies that have been with me, a handful of them that have been with me for over a year since the beginning. And so, they're loyal, they're my ride or dies. But at the same time, they have dreams and they have other things. And that's really been important to my husband and I, being owners of a business, is letting them know, like, hey, we're not just here to help you with your stylist position, but we also want to help you in life. We want to help you, what your dreams are and what your goals are, and to get you there. And I think that's one of the biggest differences of having us as, their employers, is that we truly care about them, and we do anything for them. So,
I love that. And it, a lot of people, I think, don't take the time to invest in their people, you know? And so that is something that is so special that you guys have all of this background knowledge to give them, and they're getting that from you guys because you're willing to do it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
absolutely. And it's also because, we have older kids. And
Yeah.
so our older kids are also like them. And so we really, because we are such a big family business, it is important that, they're comfortable and that they reach their goals as well.
Yeah. If you could tell yourself one thing that you know now that you didn't know when you first started, what would that be?
Definitely don't take things personal.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And I think a lot of women, we struggle with this, with the friendships, with, relationships. We struggle on, well, they don't like me, or they're not going to like me, or I don't want to say that. But sometimes we also need to set boundaries for ourselves.
Yeah.
And so that's been like a big learning experience for me. But, I'm getting there. And I always say, like, hey, every day we grow, every day we learn new things. And that's the beauty of life.
Yeah. No, and I think that translates into like so many different aspects of life, is that channel your like inner Dolly, like you said. She says what she wants, like she stands by what she believes in, I suppose. And you kind of have to be unapologetic about it, And sometimes that, like you said, it'll rub somebody the wrong way, but you have to just be true to yourself.
Yeah, and protect yourself,
Yeah.
but it's hard because, you want people to like you and you want to give them the best of you, but sometimes those people take advantage of that. And you have to protect yourself and you have to be true to yourself. Absolutely.
Yeah. Ah, I have loved like getting to learn about all of it, and I can't wait to see the day when like a Broadway little shop or somewhere downtown opens
Oh my
up.
God, Broadway, that's the goal. Yeah, I would love that. I think the community really needs it. So it would be amazing.
Yeah, that's so good. Okay, so
This drink is so good.
I know. I'm like,
You
let
did
me
a
do a
great
little
job.
chug. Thank you.
You were stressed. You were stressed about my drink.
I was. I've never had so and I'll get into it a little bit. Like normally I ask what do you want to drink and I go out and like get everything right away and I like test make them so that I can perfect it. And so when I asked you and you were like, "Oh, it's complicated. Like I'll bring the stuff." And I was like, I can let you bring the stuff, right?" But then it slipped my mind and so I was like scrambling I'm like, "Oh my
You
god."
did so
So
good
it's
though.
good though.
Yes, it's delicious.
I do. So, tell me a little bit about. You said that you typically wouldn't even wear pink. Like, I feel like I'm coming off like such a fangirl because it's so cute. I love it.
Thank you. I know sometimes I'll go to HEB because it's right down the street. We're on Bandera and 1604, and I'll run. They're like, "Oh, we need more champagne." Because let me tell you, the ladies love their mimosas.
Oh yeah.
And so I'll run, and then, I'll get all these people. I tell my husband, I'm like, "Honey, this 80-year-old man at HEB almost picked me up." They'll be like, "Oh, you look so cute." So it is a little bit of a costume, right? But it is
Yeah.
our brand. And so, sometimes I'll be like, "What do I wear?" And he's like, "Just wear the pink one." I'm like, "Okay."
I love it. So then, prior to, what was your vibe like?
Yeah, so I was, in corporate, so I always dressed professional. I always had a blazer on, heels, and back in the day when we used to wear pantyhose as well, at the bank, it was just always very corporate.
Yeah.
And I was in a very, in a role where there was a lot of men at the executive table, and I was usually just, one of the only women there. So very professional, couldn't really say exactly what you wanted to say.
Yeah.
You really had to, guard yourself. But yeah, just a very professional environment. So
Yeah.
I love that I can bring my creativity, that other women can bring their creativity. But honestly, I can't even dress myself. So I'm so glad that the boutique is there because I'm like, okay, I will take this. I'm like, whatever's on the mannequin, I will
I will
take.
take it,
Yeah,
all of it, and give me three. What is it? Give me 14 of them. I love them so much. Then,
exactly. Yes.
I do love that you bring that up though, because even in my own experience, and I'll share a little bit of a story. There was a man at my corporate job, right? And there was like a running joke of like, we don't know what this person does. We'll call him Max, right?
Sure. Yeah.
We'll call him
Yeah.
Max. What does Max do? And so like people in the newsroom would be like, um, what does Max do? Like, Max, what do you do? We don't even know, right? And he'd be like, oh, I just do a little bit of everything. And so one time I said, because I love to dress like aesthetically
You look
pleasing.
so cute. And
Thank
I'm
you.
telling you, your house, your room, it's so gorgeous. You got it
Thank
going,
you.
girl.
But I feel like you should be allowed to like express yourself a little bit when it comes to work, right?
Absolutely.
And so one day, it was during rodeo season, and so I had some white cowboy boots on,
Yes.
and I had like a black dress on, like a jean dress, not revealing, like just cowboy boots. And I was like, this person, Max, was retiring, and I was like, "Oh, Max, remind me what you do because like I'm gonna take your job." And he was like, "Not dressed like that, you are."
It is terrible
Yeah.
that we have to worry about that,
Yeah.
right? Why can't we just wear what makes us happy?
Yeah.
There'll be days that I'll tell my husband, "Is this too much?" And he'll be like, "That's too much." I'm like, "Okay, it's perfect."
Yeah.
Um,
Say less.
say less. But why not have somebody turn the other way and be like, wow, that girl looks good. Or inspire somebody like, hey, I never thought about putting that together, right? I've been inspired by so many other women and what they wear. And I'm like, I would have never thought that, but I love it, you know?
Mhm.
And I'm the type that'll compliment you. Like, I'll look crazy at the grocery store and I'll be like, you are so beautiful.
Yeah.
And women will be like, oh, thank you. But it really makes their
It
day, right?
does.
And
Mhm.
genuinely, because
Yes.
genuinely you think somebody looks beautiful. And why can't we tell them that,
Yeah.
right? Why can't
Mhm.
we just say, you look beautiful, your smile is gorgeous, and not take it a different way or offend somebody, right?
Right. Mhm.
So
No.
we're working on it.
We are. Well, so and to like full circle moment when I did land my current role, I was like, you can do both.
Yes, you can.
You can do both. And you're like proof you can be a chingona,
Yep.
essentially, and you can dress cute too,
Yes, you
you
can.
know?
And
And
be conservative and be a mom and be a married woman, you know?
yeah, because there's
Absolutely.
5 personalities.
Yep, there we go.
No, I
Yes.
love it though. And again, I feel like in the space that I'm in, where I guess I'm one of the younger leaders, in my 9 to 5, right?
And a beautiful Hispanic young woman, absolutely.
And so, well, and I feel like I'm like, okay, lean into that a little bit because there are younger girls, younger women,
Yeah,
I should say, who I work with, and I'm like, I hope they know that like it's attainable, you know? It's attainable and you don't have to be a man, you don't have to be
right,
white, and you
right.
don't have to dress like, you know, I don't even know, but
Yeah, ultra conservative. You
yeah,
can
you don't.
you can put a little bit of a twist on it, your own twist, you know.
Mhm.
Whatever that you're feeling that day, put a little twist on it. Why not?
I've always said that my husband used to be like, "Why do you want to get so dressed?" You know, and I'd be like, "Life is my runway," because he'd be like, "We're
I
not
love
going. It's
that.
not a fashion show," and I'm like, "What do you mean? Every day is a
But it
fashion show."
is.
Yeah,
And it makes you feel
it
good, you know?
does.
And really, nobody can take that feeling away from you. And, sometimes, we depend on others to make us feel that way, but why?
Yeah.
We should be able to fulfill that ourselves and
Mhm.
just make ourselves feel good, whether it is the cute boots or, your jewelry
Yeah.
or your beautiful makeup or your hair, whatever it is, just, it
Yeah.
makes you happy.
It does. There's nothing like feeling just a day where you like get up, you get yourself together, and you're like, I like every like piece today, because some days I'm like, oh, my hair is shitty, or like,
Yeah.
but when everything's hitting, I'm like, I'm gonna become the president.
That's right. And you really feel empowered and you walk out the door and you're like, I'm going to get this. You walk into that boardroom, you walk into that classroom, whatever it is
Yeah,
that, women are walking into. Like I said, we already have challenges enough. Like, let's make it easy on us.
I love this, and I love that I mean, I don't know your daughters obviously, but like it seems like they have such a great role model, you
Oh,
know?
you'd love them. They're
Yeah.
so sweet, but they're so strong.
Yeah.
I always tell a story about my daughter. My husband and she was, our first baby together, my daughter together. And I was like, we're going to dress her as a princess for Halloween. And he's like, no, we're going to dress her as an alligator. And I'm like, no, why would she be an alligator? She's a girl. So we compromised and she was a princess alligator for her
Cute.
first
I love
Halloween.
it.
But it's a mix of both, right? Where she's strong, but she's feminine, and most importantly, she's kind.
I do think like the kind factor is something to be like there's something to be said about teaching your kids to be kind, especially these days.
It's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard, and we have women that come in and they're paying a luxury service, but at the end of the day, you got to do what's right. And you just have to be kind and just be like, okay, no problem. We say people over profit is our biggest thing,
Yeah.
and it just comes down to it.
And I think that's got to be though like a given. Like not everybody. So I feel like sometimes people are looking for a complaint, you know? And I'm sure you've run into some of those
Yeah.
um types of people. But even when something is not what you expected, like it's all about the delivery,
Right.
right? And like
Right.
you for me and just like witnessing how people react, right? It's all about like the expectation. And I feel like some people just want to complain because they expect something back.
Right.
Sometimes like giving feedback is enough. You don't need to get anything in return, but the feedback is valuable so that it can change or whatever. But
Yes.
yeah,
Yes. No, it's so important. And exactly to your point, like it's the delivery, it's how you manage that. Because guess what? They may be having a bad day too,
yeah,
but it's not going to trigger me. I'm going to deliver it with kindness. It's going to be fine. My husband always says we have, you know, I don't know, 80 plus reviews, almost 100 reviews. We have one bad review.
yeah,
And he's like, you won't get over it. And I'm like, I won't. But, it's always going to be that person. And
yeah,
again, going back to setting those boundaries, and you can't please everybody, and it's okay.
yeah. I bet that's got to be tough navigating for any business. But going like sticking with the kindness thing, yesterday actually, we were driving to cheer practice with my daughter, and I just think kids these days are, I don't know about you, but they're just like different. So we were driving to cheer
Why are they
practice.
so mad? Why are these kids so mad, right?
Right. And I know, but like even my daughter's just so like, I don't know. She's 15, and there was a school bus in front of us, and we can see like a little boy with his camera like against the window. So he's obviously like taking a video of
Yeah,
us or
yeah.
something. Very weird. And
Okay.
he's like laughing. And I turn and I forget sometimes, like, because she's 15 and we like joke, and we're at the point where it's like I'm her mom, first of all, but like we're
Right.
friendly with each
Of
other,
course.
and I love hanging out with her. And so she's like, "Look, he's recording." Like, and she's like, "I think I know that kid. He's weird." I said, "You should flick him off." And then she was like, she looked at me and she was like, "No." Y-
Oh, good for her. She said
Yes. She
no.
said no, and I was like, she was like, "Mom," and
But
I
you're
was,
like,
and then I caught myself and I was like, "Yeah, don't flick him off." She was like, "I'll wind up on somebody's Instagram video and then I'll get in trouble with cheer." And I was like, "You're so
wow,
smart."
good. You've done a great
I know.
job.
I was like, "It was a
But that
test."
south side of you wanted to come out a little bit.
Yeah, I was like, "Should I flick him off?" But
Yes, I love that. Wow, that's she's an amazing young lady, but it is true. They're pressured into, doing what's right, and so yeah, that's
just things that I didn't even, I'm like, "Close your eyes. I'll do it."
love it. Love it.
It's so funny. Okay, so I wanted to talk, you touched a little bit about family and your husband, and the fact that you guys kind of did this and embarked on this business journey together tells me that have just such a strong bond and relationship. Tell me a little bit about your husband.
Oh man. It's hard, girl.
Yeah.
It's hard. We've been together 18 years. This business really tested us.
Yeah.
It hasn't been easy, but nothing is easy again.
Mm-mm.
So, I always say patience, kindness, forgiveness. I had to dedicate so much time to the business, and it was really hard for my husband for a whole year. I probably ignored him. I
Yeah.
really did, because I was so focused on the baby, the
I love it.
business.
Yeah.
All I wanted to talk about was the business. And so I kind of put him and my family on the back burner, because I was so devoted, right?
Yeah.
But that's where the balance comes in. And he had to remind me, like, hey, like, you haven't made dinner all week.
Yeah.
Or, hey, you haven't spent any time with me.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's those reminders and it's that communication that we need. And again, it's okay to just step away for a minute. The business is still going to be there,
Yeah.
and really family is everything. So yeah, so we've had to have some hard conversations. We've dedicated some time to, putting the phone away, spending time before we go to bed, and just kind of talk about each other's days. But it does get hard, especially when you've been with somebody for so long,
Yeah.
and you have to learn to reconnect. And what else can we talk about, right? Because
Yeah.
you feel like you've talked about everything. So we've, started to date again, started to put our marriage first again, and even done therapy. I mean, I'm not afraid to say it, like, but marriage counseling is so important, especially running a business. And you moms know, right? You are operating the household, you're operating the little ones, you still have to focus on your husband and run a business. Like, how do we do it all?
Yeah, sometimes it does feel impossible, Um, and just in my own journey as well, like I feel like I'm completely honest with him where I'm like, I know that I'm like lacking right now, or like I'm not showing up to where I need to be at certain times when I'm like my focus is just on work,
Right.
and again that mom guilt comes in, so I'm fully aware, but it's so challenging.
But you know
And
what? The fact that you recognize it and
yeah,
that you're aware of it, like, speaks volumes
yeah,
because you have a very important career, and your babies are still little,
yeah,
and you obviously have your older one too, and so it's you have to split yourself between them and still devote some time. So, the fact that you recognize it, I think that's super important.
yeah. No, and I do think too, like we're at a point, so we've been together for since I was 14, so 21 years.
I love it. And you
um
said you were fangirling me, and he was so fangirling you earlier. He was
oh
like, "Oh, it was so cute." I love it.
it's funny because like I just feel like we were kids when we
Yeah,
met.
14.
I know.
Wow.
And so you're right though, finding ways to continue connecting and prioritizing the relationship, right? Like it's so important. So one thing that I did was um sometimes it's so easy to get in bed and then you're like scrolling, right?
Yeah.
And you're
Yep.
both on your phones and
Yep.
like the kids are in bed, so it's like your
Your
moment to
time.
yourself.
Yeah.
And so we have like a card game. I have it in my nightstand called Let's Get Deep, right? And that sounds I'm
What
like
kind of card game are we talking about? What
I
else is in your
know,
nightstand? No, I'm just kidding.
right? I'm like, that's the other drawer. I'm just kidding.
The bottom one.
The bottom one reserved for that.
No
Oh, that's
pun
funny.
intended.
No, but I guess yeah. Let's get deep. But so it's just a card game with like questions. So I'll take like 3 questions each, and I'm like, okay, we're like just gonna run through this, and sometimes he's like, and I'm like, you have to do it. Like there's no compromise. We
Yeah.
have to do it. So um, I feel like finding just little ways to connect and just to stay grounded with each other. And we're not even like technically running a business together, so I can't even
I mean, you
imagine.
are.
Well,
This is
I
a
mean,
business.
well,
This is
that's true.
great.
Yeah, yeah.
You've done amazing, girl. And the
Thank
people
you.
that you've had on here, the connections that you've made, you should be so proud of yourself.
Oh,
You are
thank
running a
you.
business, and you're running a household, and you're running,
I'm like,
kids.
stop. This is about
No,
you.
no. Like when moms say, like, I'm just a mom, I'm not doing nearly what you are, you're like, you inspire me,
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's really like, I can't even imagine having two little ones. And your house is immaculately clean. How are you doing it?
It's
So
all the credenzas, all the toys. We were like,
hide
okay,
everything, she's
yeah.
coming.
No, every night we're like, okay, it's cleanup time, and my little 2-year-old says, Alexa, play the clean. Oh, she's gonna do it. He's like, play the cleanup song,
Oh my God,
and so
how
then they'll pick
cute.
up their toys.
I
But
love it. Good trick. Good
yeah.
trick. You've trained them well. Yes.
But I mean, I technically yes, it takes a lot for me to do this, and he's oh, she did hear me. Alexa, stop. How rude.
Don't interrupt us,
I
Alexa.
know.
We're
She's trying
having
to get me like
tequila.
copywritten, right? Violations here. But no, he's really good about being supportive, and yeah, I couldn't do this without him, and I couldn't be inspired by talk about being inspired.
Yeah.
Every guest that I've had on, you included, um, has helped me like continue churning things out, because sometimes it's tough to make the time, but because I love and enjoy this so
And you're so
much.
good at
Oh,
it. You're
thank
so good
you.
at it.
Thank
Yes.
you.
I
But
I can see that. And I can see this growing. And earlier you said, like, if it grows. I'm like, no, it's going to grow.
yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. You're so sweet. But no, I'm just happy that I get to facilitate these connections because I have heard from like feedback from people that your story, whoever's story it is that we're sharing, inspires them. And whether it nudges them to pursue a career, pursue a business, change their career, or even things like you're sharing about counseling, right? Marriage
Yeah,
counseling.
marriage.
Um,
Like you said, spending that time with your husband,
yeah.
finding fun ways to connect. Yeah.
I think it's all about just like these platforms spark ideas for
Yep.
people, and so yeah, and thank you for being open about all of that stuff.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah,
It's hard,
yeah.
but it's real, and I'm not the only one.
Oh
And
no,
that's what we have to remember, right? You're
yes,
not the only one. Other women have gone through this, and you're going to make it.
yeah. Well, I cannot wait to see everything that comes with hello, darling.
Thank you. Thank you
We
so
want that
much.
merch, okay?
Okay,
So,
I'll bring you a hat, trucker hat.
yes, I
So
want
who
some
goes
new
first? Do
ones.
you go first? I go first?
You can go first.
Well, that's terrible. Okay, so I will go first with diet culture is toxic. So this is like a huge topic for me because a lot of people don't know, but I actually lost about 70 pounds a few years ago, and I've been keeping it off. But going back to the how you feel,
Mhm,
right? I was a
mhm.
mom, I had 5 kids, I was so devoted, and during COVID, I just, we drank so much, we ate so
Yes.
much,
Mhm.
and I just got to the point where, like, I can't do this anymore, and I don't feel good about myself.
Yeah.
And so, it was an unpopular thing, but I went through weight loss surgery,
Yeah.
paid, out of pocket because I didn't qualify for it, but I knew that it was the only way that, that I was gonna change my habits.
Yeah.
And so I dedicated it to it and I feel amazing. I
Yeah.
still work hard every day. I still have to be conscious about what I eat. I still have to work out. But diet culture is toxic.
Yeah. 1000%.
It is toxic, but it's all about how you feel. So
Mhm.
if you are good in your body, take that, sister, dress amazing, feel good about yourself, but do what makes you happy.
Yeah, no, and you do look great. And
Thank you.
like, I'm glad that you've been able to just feel good about yourself, right? It's so challenging just being a woman in general.
Yes.
But oh my God, I feel like it's amplified with social media. Um, I have,
And Ozempic and
it's
everything that's out there.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So like, I only recently, prior to COVID, like you, I loved being at the gym. I was always at the gym.
Wow.
And
How did you find the time?
I would go really early at like 5 in the
Oh
morning
my
before work. So
gosh.
this I was like on a regular 9 to 5
Yeah.
schedule. So I would go really early. I only had the one kid, so it
Yeah.
was super easy. Um, and then during COVID, I quit going. I then had my two babies, and my career changed, and I could never. I tried everything. I felt like I was like doing apps. I tried to join the gym. I got a freaking Peloton. Like I was trying everything to get back into a routine. We have a gym set up in my garage,
Oh my gosh.
and I could never like make the commitment. Right, I just couldn't get out of a funk, and it just so happens that this past December, one of my coworkers was like, "Do you have any New Year's resolutions?" And I was like, "No, I don't believe in New Year's
Yeah.
resolutions because, like,
Mm-hmm.
why set them for the new year? If you really want to do it, just do it now." And so I was like, "Let me take my own like advice, right?" And so I joined the gym, and I have been going, and it just makes me feel good.
Yes.
Um, but now that I'm at the gym, it's like my entire algorithm on all platforms is about losing weight and
Oh
eating right. And I'm like,
no. No, that's not what I
yeah, I'm like, I didn't want that. I
want.
looked up one workout, like,
Yes.
so it can be totally toxic. And again, they say like what did they say? Your abs start in the kitchen. So it's all about
Yes.
what you
What you
eat,
eat.
you
Mm-hmm.
know. But
But we love our
I
tacos
know, and the
and our
brownie
tequila.
bites, like, come on, HEB, stop making brownie bites.
Well, kudos to you because finding the time with 2 little ones, a husband, your career, and your side hustle, I mean, it's hard to find the time.
Yeah,
And I tell moms, like, you're going to find the time and it's going to come when the time has come. What the time is ready.
yeah,
So good for you.
yeah,
But yeah, why put so much pressure on
yeah.
ourselves?
I know. I'm like, just eat the brownie.
Just eat the brownie, eat the cake, baby.
Hey.
I love it.
Okay, so let's see.
Your turn.
All right, here's I switch up. Okay, I'd rather marry a hot person with a mediocre personality than an unattractive person with an amazing personality.
Ooh.
I'm like, we want both.
We do want both. Yeah. What did you get?
I got he does have both. I scored.
Absolutely. You
Yeah,
guys are so cute together.
thank
So
you.
cute.
Thank you. I'll say, baby, I do think that everybody can work on certain things. So it's like, we're not perfect, but like, I think, yeah, I mean, he's funny, and his running joke is that I'm the reason we get invited, and he's the reason we get invited back.
Oh,
I'm like, you're
okay.
so annoying.
Okay. So he secures that next appointment.
Yes, I'm like,
Oh, so he's the
whatever.
closer.
Yeah. How about you?
Oh, I love that. I think looks come later.
Yeah.
I think you fall in love with people later.
Yeah.
I personally had told my husband when he asked me out, like, I don't date white guys. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I don't. But he was so funny and he was so charming and he was so smart. And I just, now he's freaking hot, and I'm like, Mr. Darling, come here. So, yeah, so I think looks come later. You really have to fall in love and have that connection, that intellect, or whatever it is, right? You have to have
Mhm.
that connection.
Oh, for
And
sure.
you guys have both. I can see that.
Oh, you're
Totally
so
cute couple.
sweet. Yeah, I mean, you don't want a bozo just because
No,
they're hot. Like,
yeah,
no, it's
no.
got to be both.
Yep, absolutely. Love it.
Okay, your turn.
In 100 years, there will be people living on Mars. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Katy Perry just
Yes,
went out.
I
But did
know.
she? Did she go? Did
Did
she
she go?
not go?
A little
Oh my
conspiracy here, yeah.
God. So cool. I think there's so much to explore, either outer space or underworld, and even here on Earth, right? So, I do think forever dreaming. I
Yeah.
think, there's so much possibilities. So,
What's scary? I agree. Yes, the possibilities are endless. But what is more scary, like the thought of outer space or underwater?
I think outer space.
Yeah.
I really do, and I really do think there's other life amongst us.
Yeah, I know. I feel like at least with outer space, they're not on the same like planet.
Yeah, they're life years ahead.
But underwater, like we're living with them.
They're here.
So
Yeah.
they're here.
Yep.
Those sea creatures are gonna get you.
I love it.
So I'd rather be too hot than too cold.
Ooh, for sure. I'd rather be too hot. I know
Yeah,
that's
I
crazy,
know.
but trust me, when I tell you I lost 70 pounds and it is so cold in every room, I'm like, oh my God, I'd rather have my fat bag because it kept me warm. So, yes, I'd rather be hot.
Oh no, opposite. I'd rather be
Really?
too cold because you can layer up. You can use a
Yeah, but like, do
blanket.
you ski? Have you ever been to cold
Well, I
areas?
mean, not no,
Have
no,
you been in like negative
no.
degree weather?
Mm-mm. So
Right.
I guess that's
Yeah.
different.
Try
Yeah.
that and then
I
come
know
talk
you're
to
like,
me. There's
you're
not
like,
enough
okay,
parkas.
Texas girl.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
I love
funny.
it. This was so fun. Yes, I love your
Yes.
energy. Thank you so
Likewise.
much for having me over.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed having you over. Thank you so much for coming on. Again, all the best to you and your
Thank you.
business.
Thank you.
And for those that are watching that are not familiar, let people know where they can find you on socials.
Absolutely. So, Hello Darling Blow Dry Bar. We're off of Bandera and 1604. And we're on Instagram at Hello Darling Blow Dry and, of course, Facebook. But yeah, just come check us out. Come in. We welcome every single person with Hello Darling because who doesn't want to be called a darling whenever you walk in the door?
I love it. And it's more than a blowout, guys.
That's right. It's blow dries and good vibes.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching and listening. Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
And again, if you haven't seen our past episodes, please go back and watch them. Give them a like. Give me a little subby.
They are
Subscribe
freaking
here.
funny. They are so funny. All of your episodes. I'm like, this was not the funny one. I'm not really funny, but you are.
No, you're funny. You're great. You're all the things, you know. But yeah, make sure you go and check them out, and make sure you give her a follow and support her business because she's doing some great things here in San Antonio.
Thank you. Can't wait to see you guys.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll be back next week with another episode.
Bye.
Bye.